All righty. See what we got here. We got a handful of people already. These people got nothing better to do on Saturday night. Got to be retirees. Hey, Buzz, how you doing? Got his retirement watch on. Oh, I'm not messing in it. Is that Buzz out there? Yes, it is. I'm glad you showed up, Buzz. I got a I got some things to tell the people. Nothing major. It was just funny. Oh, I got some stuff too, Buzz. I don't know if anybody's out there yet or not, but look what I picked up at a couple of junk sales the other day. It's been a month. It's probably been over a month now. See what's this here? Here it is. Jerry Lee Lewis. A whole lot of shaking going on from Sun Records. I got that one. And Great Balls of Fire I got from him too. So well, that's pretty neat to me. I haven't listened to it yet. See how it sounds. But I got a handful of Elvis records too. They're from a little bit newer though. That's after he went to RCA Records. That's all right. That's one of them. And then Blue Suede Shoes. That was this one here too. So I have a lot of fun going to them junk sales. You pick something up like that there for just nothing, hardly $1 or two. But well, how do everybody? A squared, Alton, Matt Dole, J&P. You like that, Alton? That was for some junk I picked up. But it was I couldn't believe somebody had those at a daggone yard sale. They weren't nothing, a quarter a piece or 50 cents a piece or something. I got a little turntable the baby had bought me because I threw all my stereo equipment away years ago when I went from this shed behind the house over to the little one over there, the one all my junk's in, and it wasn't working right, and it was out there in the heat and everything, but I kept the speakers. I kept the magnet off of them speakers. Those things are handy for picking up nails and things. But so she bought me a turntable. One of them you used to carry around. You could carry your records in a little bag or something. You carry one of them around. A few years ago, probably 10 years ago, in the daggone for Christmas one year, because it played some of them albums I got. I thought it'd be pretty neat to listen to them, see how it sounds, see if it got any scratches or anything on them. Original Sun, yeah. Vinyl records are making a comeback. Yeah, I guess they are. A little bit of one, anyways. I just do it because I had a bunch of records to begin with, but I had nothing to play them on after that one turntable give out on me. And at one point, it was hard to get daggone needles for them, but once they started making a little comeback, you can find needles fairly easy now. So around here, anyways. Happy Thursday. Very hot in Southwest East Michigan and smoky. Yeah, we get a little smoke here today. What past 2 days, I believe it has been. Coming up from that Canadian wildfire. Caused me to get a little congestion in my chest yesterday. I woke up last night coughing. A little congestion in there. Oh, and this is that second video that I do every month where I try to clean up. Don't always make it, but I do try to comb my hair and put on a decent shirt. I did a video last week, man. I didn't post it because I usually if I get the urge, that's when I'll make a video. Well, when I went to view it, which is I'm lucky I did because I didn't clean my nose for that video, so I had to trash that one. I didn't know it till I viewed it. I don't do a lot of pre-work when it comes to making videos. You can probably tell that. But it was warm down here today. It wasn't near as bad yesterday as they called them for because that smoke come in and kept it kind of cloudy. So it wasn't near as bad as they'd called for. Ken from Concord. That's where I used to buy all my lawnmowers. I used to use push mowers all the time till that year I busted my Achilles, and then I wasn't able to cut grass for a long time. And that's when I went up and got once I got healthy again, I got me a daggone riding mower. But yeah, I could pick them up for like $20, man, at a yard sale somewhere. Keep that thing 4 or 5 years and get another one, man. You couldn't beat it. Real retirees, how you making out, buddy? I see you stepping up your game, man. You got a lot of recent retirees on there. I seen I don't know, 3 or 4 of them I've seen on there that haven't long had a channel. You did, I think you did I can't remember the name of that one. But I remember seeing it. I know the guy. I watch him on here too. So 5,500 for some of those songs for you. Yeah, these are probably more like a quarter a piece, man. Maybe probably because it's like anything else. It goes by condition, and these aren't exactly in that best of condition. You can see, especially on them Elvis records. You see how they got all the rings on the daggone label and stuff, and I'm sure they got some little tweaks on maybe nothing major, but they got some little tweaks on them. So, I mean, you're $5 maybe, but I ain't gonna get rid of them, I don't reckon, unless we come down on hard times. If you see me on eBay hawking records, Steve's in trouble. Finally got alive, I called. Hey, T. I think I just recently answered your comment you had on one of them videos I just had. I spent the day trying to get caught up on some of them comments I've had. I can't think of what you said. I did a handful of them today, so I get everything all twitched. You better check those Sun records, not the RCA. Yeah, they're nah. It ain't worth it to me right now because I don't plan on getting rid of them. So it's like that Tanya Tucker album I got, her first album. You would think that'd be worth some money. I doubt it. I really hadn't checked on any of that. Oh, yeah. I got it because I thought it was unique. I've never had a Sun record or an early Elvis record before. We got the modern stuff from back in the 70s. One of his Christmas albums, stuff like that. But just made me a fresh pot. Oh, we got 20-some people in here now. Now maybe I can let it cue everybody in on Buzz has been holding out from us all. He got the best wife a man could ever ask for, Doc. She's a sweet lady. She really is. She's a good lady. She made some brownies when I was there. And you tell her, there's no way in the world I would have figured out that's what that ingredient was. Ain't no way in the world. So he's got a lot of help he ain't letting nobody know about. And Buzz is straight up. He's just like you see on TV. He's a good fellow. He's better than you would imagine. He really is. He's just a regular fellow like everybody else trying to figure things out. But he's really good. They were so nice. And she actually made me a glass of sweet tea while I was there. And I think Buzz had mentioned one of his videos that her family was from, her roots go back to Latvia or Yugoslavia or somewhere like that. And there's no way would taste that iced tea. She got to be from the South somewhere. maybe South Yugoslavia or somewhere. But and I just went up there for a daggone it's really just a quick meet and greet and just joke around with the people on the live because I'd done one that Thursday. And so that Saturday I showed up at his place and it was just kind of messing around, having a little fun with YouTube, what I call it. But they were real nice. So I really hadn't planned on doing anything but showing up for the live and then heading back over to Pennsylvania where my aunt lived at. She's only about an hour and a half from him. So, but maybe I'll get a wild hair and catch up with him later on for a couple of days. Cities are not my favorite places to be. I don't go to Richmond, much less Cleveland, Ohio. And I'm just down the road, man, 15 minutes from there. But I enjoyed it. It was quick and short, but it's kind of where I wanted to do it first off. I mean, I could have got in there and I could have been a butthole, and he'd not care for me at all. He said, "Man, I wish that guy'd go to the house." So, just kind of a meet and greet thing, really. But I had a great time. It was worth the drive. But I'm gonna take 2 or 3 days if I ever go back just to get up there. Sun 45s, African 10 to 15 buck desirable originals. Yeah. So we're probably 10 to 50 bucks maybe. Probably close. Well, I don't know. I don't really care. Yeah, early Suns because he was only with Sun for a year or two, and then RCA bought his contract out, so he wasn't with Sun Records as long as I thought he was, anyways. So no. You got to meet Mrs. Buzz. Yes, I did. Felt just like I was home, Doc. She really is she's a good lady. I see why she don't want to be on there. She don't want everybody to know how good a lady she is. Tandy Tucker used to date Glenn Campbell. Yes, she did. I think it was Kenny Rogers. Didn't he marry one of them girls from Hee Haw, I believe. Wasn't it Kenny Rogers? The one used to swing on the swing. That was a funny show, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. If you're gonna eat salad, has that outbreak hit your area? No, and I ain't got to worry too much about salad because I don't eat it. Only if it comes with the meal. So I'm not your healthiest eater. There is very little that I do is correct. That's honest truth, man. I mean, tonight we had daggone chicken and rice, Doc. Chicken balls, what we call it. It's that greasy rice and some boiled chicken in with it. So, I mean, and then on top of it, I always have me a piece of white bread with butter on it. Anytime I eat that or either spaghetti or lasagna or something. So, I mean, I'm getting clogged arteries sitting here. But I ain't going to change, Doc. It just ain't happening. They don't need me trying to fool myself or anybody else. It ain't happening. But I mean, heck, I eat vegetables come straight out of a daggone untreated or treated lumber raised beds. I dip grizzly and skull. I have drunk once or twice in my life. I go faster than the speed limit. So there's really not too much that I've done that has lent to a healthy lifestyle. Let's put it that way. That's what tickled me about putting out that Duke's mayonnaise jar. Somebody says, "Don't do it." That what did he say? Something about that pain you feel in your chest is your heart having a heart attack. He said it'll beat you to the hospital or some bull. I said, man, out of all the things I've done that is wrong, I don't think a spoonful of mayonnaise is going to kill me. It might, but I don't think so. It's too good, man. No, I ain't going to. Eventually, I'll have to cut back on sugar. But where sugar gets you at is it the sugar that's naturally in stuff and the stuff that turns to sugar. Because I don't add anything to my food. It comes to the table, I eat it. So it's not like I add salt or sugar or pepper or any kind of seasoning to it. When it comes to the table, is how I eat it. And that's why I don't eat too many salads because I don't add nothing to it. I eat it when they put it down. That's when I eat it. None of that dressing and none of that bull. But that's me. But yeah, I think it is coming this way. That daggone explosive diarrhea disease coming off that lettuce. But I shouldn't have much trouble with it. If I do, it's because we went out to eat somewhere. You've had the bug for 2 days, Buzz? I'll be dog. I hate that when you get that upset stomach. That gripper is what I call it. Yeah, and you can catch it on here. It still comes on here. I think it's the RFD channel from time to time, I believe. The Royal News Network or Royal, I don't know what it is, RFD, Royal Farm Daily or something's the channel. Garden it's doing okay. It's doing okay. I just got a couple I got that red tomato off there. It was talked about in that video yesterday, that little short. And a couple of squash. So baby wanted to plant 3 or 4 different types of squash this year because we always use what do you call it? The crooknecks, the yellow squash, summer squash. But she wanted to grow them patty pans and something called a lemon squash. It's about looks like a lemon. We got some fake lemons over here. It looks just about like that, but it's a little bit bigger. And so we had a couple of those ready, so I pulled them off. So yeah, I had a little damage on the wind because my tomato plants grow over top of the stakes probably, 2-3 feet. So if it gets any wind, there's no support for it, and then it collapse. And so I had a little bit of that. We had a little cloud come up the other day, but it's making out okay. It's doing real good since I don't do anything but just go out there and pick the fruit once it starts popping off. I'm a lazy gardener. So I got to do everything else. If we had to live off of what I grew, man, we'd starve to death inside of a month. I'd probably take more care of it if I did. I'm a potato nut, but I hate mashed unless it's peppered southern grade. Oh yeah, much pepper as you want won't hurt you. I didn't know that. Well, what do they say about celery? You burn more calories digesting it than you get from it. So you could eat all the celery you want all day, every day, and you could actually starve to death. That's weird if you think about it, but that's true. It has no nutritional value at all, hardly. It's just a filler. Pepper, how you doing? No one ever got sick from a piece of cake. Yeah, I'm not too sure about that one. I've definitely gotten stuffed from a piece of cake. How's that? Well, I'll take another piece. There's a comedian out there that talks about that. If you know you're from the South, if you ask for sweets because your sugar's low, you're stuffed after dinner, but I think I got room for a piece of cake. My cucumbers, blackberries are going nuts. Planted tomatoes late, but getting ready to go nuts. Yeah, well, my tomatoes are doing pretty good, and I actually getting full size ones this year. Started out making little half size ones, but the last couple I pulled off are full size ones, and but I got a lot of them out there, especially a lot of them little San Marzano tomatoes, something like that, a little Italian tomato. It's kind of an oval shape, probably 2-3 inches long, about all it is. We got a ton of those out there. See, cucumbers, we gotten a handful of them off. We're not doing a bang up year on them this year. But I think I only had 2 plants survive. I think I did 4 of everything, but 2 of them survived. Now I'm starting to get them peppers. I didn't do bell peppers this year. I did just a little hot peppers. So, because baby likes to string them up. I don't think she's got any. Yeah, she's got a little string sitting over here on the door handle. She puts them on a string and takes them right there next to the stove there, and whenever she needs them for cooking in, she's got them right there. So, but yeah, it's doing all right. I was disappointed in my strawberries, but daggone deer got them. Same thing happened to my daggone sunflowers. I planted in front of the shed. Deer got every one of them. So they didn't even get a chance to make a head. I planted late. I planted everything late. But we are going to have two crops of daggone tomatoes this year because of that. Because probably about a month between them. Was the 401k your main retirement vehicle? Yes, without a doubt. That's what I use to live on day to day. Now I had I had an IRA and a daggone brokerage account, and I had money in the bank. I used all of that to figure with, but my 401 by far had the most money, and so that's what we're living on, and that's really what I count as my daggone retirement. When I say, hey, man, I'm running a 60-40 split or 80-20 split, that's what I'm talking about is that daggone 401. That's what that's running. They don't count the money I got in the bank or what them other ones are running. Because I don't, that 401 should get us through with little to no problem. So I don't, that's kind of, that's for emergencies when I turn 75, 80, 85, or 90, or it goes to whoever's left after I kick off. So, but yeah, that's my main vehicle. I always have room for, that's right. David and Melissa down here in North. Oh, okay. Hope you're having a great summer. Yeah, it's been a pretty good one. It's been halfway decent up to now so far. Nothing spectacular. But yeah. It's been a little hot though. It hasn't normally don't get this hot when June, late June like it did. Usually it's July or August. But other than that, it's been going along pretty good. Been swimming along pretty well. Scott McFarlane. Hey, boss. Yeah, Brian, it has. It was here yesterday pretty good. I didn't realize that I was cutting grass. And but I kept smelling something. I thought my neighbor was burning trash in the backyard. But I don't think that was it. I think it was that smoke. It's supposed to be down here for the next couple of days, but I don't think it was out there at all today. Or I didn't notice it. But they say, yeah, they give a warning out today about people who have heart trouble and breathing troubles. Be careful outside and limit your exposure to it. But I didn't have no problem. I had to walk down the street, talk to my sister this afternoon. But yeah, smoke is bad in Ohio. Yeah, well, y'all ain't far from the original source. At one time they had Great Dismal Swamp was on fire. They had a bunch of stuff they called peat down there in the swamp, and it caught on fire, and there was really no way they could put it out. So it smoldered for years, man. And some days it'd be bad up here because of that. I don't know if it's still burning or not. It's just smoldering. I think they got a town somewhere like that up north somewhere. Under the underground is burning. I don't know if it was a coal shaft that had collapsed or something. I seen a thing on like a little documentary about it on TV a year or so ago. Need a video on the pull-up bar. Yeah, well, I started to make a video of it, but it's just a matter of sticking 4 or 5 poles in the ground. It's not like it's any kind of technical. I mean, if I can do it, most people could probably do it. But just sticking a couple poles in the ground and making the daggone bars level is pretty much it. Getting it the right height where you want it is important, I think. I wanted it just high enough to where I'd have to jump to grab it so I wouldn't have touching the ground or have to hold my feet up. I could have raised the parallel bars a little bit, another couple of inches, but I put them elbow height. So, and you don't want them too far apart because it works different muscles. So, but it depends on what do you want to work on. So, Centralia Pit. Oh, okay, okay. I seen something on TV about that one time. Like I said, I think watch a lot of documentaries, a lot of sports, a lot of nature stuff. Like that thing at was it Kevin Costner went through the national parks or Yosemite? Um, that was interesting. Stuff like that. When I watch TV, which this year I've watched more than I have since I retired. But like that, well, that daggone soccer. I ain't much of a soccer fan, never have been, but I keep up with it. I try to check the scores and see who's playing and stuff like that. And I was kind of upset England lost Spain the other night. I like them and Germany and Brazil. Brazil's one had Pele when he played, man. And I remember him when I was a kid playing. So that's kind of why I like Brazil. And I had a German teacher in school used to always talk about daggone soccer. So that's the reason I like to watch the German team. But I don't know. And that was burning on the ground. Is it still burning on the ground, y'all? I don't remember if it was or not. I mean, that's been a year or so ago since I seen that daggone video. And I can't remember the cause behind it. I think it was something like a daggone coal shaft under there had collapsed and it had caught on fire. And it was just kind of, burning on the ground there. I don't know if we're having any health problems come from that or not. I don't know. It was interesting. Need to see me use it. Yeah, as soon as I get a chance, Buzz, I'll get out there. And I can't do but a couple. But it's I really want to practice hanging from it because your grip is something that you lose as you get older. And I still need to be open a mayonnaise jar, you know what I mean? But that's something you lose as you get older if you don't watch it. And um working on my upper back because doing push-ups works on your back, but it works on your chest too. You get a little bit more of a concentrated work on your back on the pull-ups and them dips if you do, depending on what you do. So, and it was something I enjoyed as a kid. So I figure why not try and bring it back. It gives me I plan on alternating days. My little push-up workout that I did out there on a video, and then I'll do 15, 20 minutes out there on that thing one day and the little push-ups the next. Just kind of after you do a routine for a certain period of time, it kind of gets boring or old to you. So you got to shake it up every once in a while and change things up. And that's one way I'm doing it. Not good at anything in 69 muscle ups on his bar. Oh man, I saw that video when he turned when he turned 69, weren't it? I mean, that's impressive, man. That's hard to do. It's a lot. And that's the thing gets me to. It gets me about every day on thing. Is it people that can do that stuff make it look so simple? I mean, you say, well, man, heck, there ain't nothing to that, man. I can do that. Yeah, give it a shot. That's all I got to tell you. It's extremely humbling, I can tell you that, boss. But it's just something for me to mess around on, and try to stay healthy as long as I can so that the baby ain't got to take care of me. Coal, okay. I thought it was coal. It's been burning for years. Coal seam burning since early. No kidding. I didn't remember that. I just remembered it. I mean, that was just, it was amazing to hear that story, to watch that video. So it's like a lot of stuff for me. I don't know a whole lot, so about everything amazes me. I tell you, the daggone the Bay Bridge Tunnel down there in Chesapeake, that thing it's just amazing to me how they built that back in the 60s. Because they didn't have that GPS like you got now. Because they built a second section to it. And the guys are using that GPS to get everything lined up. And I seen a video about that, them making that, and the guys working on it today said, man, that thing is it was amazing to them that they could do it back then without that kind of a help. But the tunnel sections of that were made up in New England, and they pulled them by tugboat all the way down here and dropped them in place. They closed up the ends, and they halfway filled them with concrete, the end pieces. Then they floated it that way. There, it would float halfway like a daggone boat, you know. And then when they got it where they needed it, they just guided it down they filled it up with more concrete so it just sunk right in place and cut the daggone hole out of it. I mean, these guys are geniuses, man. Ain't no way in heck I'd have figured that out. That's impressive to me. So 94 and 55 humidity here in upstate. It's like stepping out. It's evening time for the thunderstorms to crank up. Yeah, usually we get storms like that. We had that one pop up. I guess it was Monday. Was it Monday? No, it was last Friday. It was a nice day, but then that cloud come up, and we got a pretty bad storm there for didn't last long, 30 minutes or something, but it had thunder and lightning in it. And but I think we're clear until I think Sunday we might have like a 30 or 40% chance. But we've had quite a bit of rain this summer. It's been so hot, you know. The afternoon, it's when it wants to kick off a storm. We had one overnight the other night, a couple of nights ago, and it was pretty rough. I think that's the one that knocked power out on us. We were without power for. Yeah, it did, because it went out about 3 a.m. We didn't get it back on till 1 o'clock that next day. Just in time by the time it got unbearable here in the house, it come back on. Gymnasts and pole vaulters live the longest among athletes, only being inverted has anything to do with it. I don't know. I had an inversion board one time because my back hurt me so bad. And this is it's before I even got married. So it's been decades ago. So I'd come home from work and I'd hang from it and stretch them daggone your vertebrae out. That's been decades ago. So it seemed to help. But yeah, that's the thing about them daggone gymnasts, man. Them guys. See, I grew up with a boy that worked the high bar. He done the high bar in the for gymnasts, you know, at high school. And he taught me some stuff to do on it. And when I was a kid. And it was just impressive. So I don't think Connie even knew I was doing it until it showed up. She just knew that I was in the backyard messing around. Good thing is I didn't have to buy anything. Well, I had to buy the concrete. I had to buy concrete and the poles. I had the wood. It was left over from other stuff. Somebody had asked me about that holder that had that sign in on one of them comments on one of my last videos. That was from a daggone 2x2 spindle you bought when I replaced the railing on the front porch a few years ago. I just cut that up in those sections and hung it in that. That sign's nice because it's two-sided. It's got the cowbell on one side and it's got retirement corner on the other side. So I needed to have a way to slide it out and slide it back in. So that was what I come up with. But it's been blowed off of that grill for a couple of times too in a windstorm. So I probably need to do some work on that. But during the heat wave, do we retirees take afternoon naps? I take naps. You know, that's something I didn't do first 3 years I was retired. But here lately this summer, I have started to take them. If if it's extremely hot and I've got nothing going on outside, as long as I stay active, like I got to run see my little lady, or I got to cut grass or whatever. If I come in for any length of time, I'll go lay down and watch some TV, and usually I'll drop off. But it's just surprised me. I noticed it this year. But yeah, well, we don't deal with the heat as we get older as well as we did when we were younger. We just don't. Our bodies process it different. Like I freeze to death in the house, and I have to get outside just to warm up. That's one reason I walked down to my sister's this evening because it was warm today. It got up. Well, it didn't get up hot. I guess about like Red said, 95, 90. I don't think it got a little bit warmer than 94 today, but the humidity was so bad. But I'll go right there on the back porch out on the gazebo there for an hour or so, grab me a handful of peanuts and sit there just to warm up before I come back in. The baby does all her work in here. So she has a little bit cooler in here. I just need to come in here to cool off. I don't need to come in here and work. If I was working, I can understand. But if she's up washing the dishes or cooking or doing laundry or making the beds or whatever she does, you build up that heat. So she needs it a little cooler than I do. So I used to just sit here till I freeze and I go outside. That's why I always keep long sleeve shirt over the back of my chair there in the living room. Year round, it lays right there. I'll get me every week. I'll switch it out because sometimes I'll need it. Sometimes I don't need it at all. So I can't handle the cold, Doc. 60 feet, you can flip up. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. That was unreal, man. He threw that sucker 8 foot in the air. Said he was feeling okay. They said it was because that daggone buffalo was in heat. It was mating season. That's what it was. And he was marking his territory. What something I don't understand though. He said they were taking their pictures from 100 yards away. I don't know how you caught that sucker that quick. I was telling Connie, man, ain't no. I says, ain't no way he could catch me before I can get in my house. He got a lot of ground to cover. But he must not. He was there with his grandson taking pictures, so they must not have had a vehicle or something right there they could jump in. Looked like a campground or some tents out there. So I don't know whether I don't know. But yeah, man. I mean, well, they have a lot of trouble out there in the West with them people in the buffaloes. Getting too close to them to take a picture. But them suckers can move, Doc. They can cover some ground. I don't think he can cover no 100 grounds though. Depending on how far you got to run to get the shelter and the bears. And it's a wonder bears don't kill more people than they do. And moose. Moose are dangerous as heck, man. I'm glad we don't have any down here. And we do got some elk. We got a herd of elk right up the road from me. About I don't know, about 15 minutes. What it was a piece of farmland that the government had bought out, and the guy told him, "Hey, man, you can have it for that kind of money if you just keep a herd of elk on here constantly." And so they're in a big old field, like and they got them pinned in, and they actually have to take care of them. So it's right there on the main drag, 301. Started taking naps in the past year. 106 Central Coast of California. Today just 100. Boy, you like to freeze today. 6 degrees you lost. My little lady's out in California right now. Which, by the way, I talked to her and get to get her on the one across town. She's gonna give me let me ask her a few questions, like I did Fred over here, Sharon. So I'll probably do that when she comes back. Make a little video of it. She's down in Southern California is where she goes. So jeepers, your pup had a spleen removed? Mercy. We had a black bear walking around here last weekend. Wow. Yeah, I showed Connie some videos of that happening on here. And she says, She says, I got to go. She says, she says, ain't no way. That would be hard to deal with. We'll get a stray one down here. Seems like every year come stumbling into Richmond, following the river down. If it's dry, usually. So I don't think it shouldn't have no problem this year. But there aren't any around here. There's supposed to be some down in the Dismal Swamp area, but I ain't never seen one. Ain't like I hang out down there either, though. Yeah. That's what they mean, socializing. Wow. Yeah, staying acclimated. I find it easier to deal with the heat if I go out there in the morning and as the temperature rises. If I do that, I mean, I can stay out there all day. But if I wait till 11, 12 o'clock before I decide to go outside and do anything, nah, Steve, what's coming in a couple hours. I find it easier to deal with it like that. And I always have that sweat rag with me. And the baby's here with a glass iced tea if I get a chance. So, so, but yeah, it's best. It's like the other day I was cut that grass yesterday morning. I have cut it in the evening when it cools off a little bit, but it's still muggy in the evening, man. It's still muggy. So I try to catch it in the morning times if I can, even when there's dew on the grass. I'd rather not cut it like that, but I still do, just to avoid that heat. 2 pet female bison. Wow. Yeah, well, they're still wild, man. They're socialized, used to people being around, but man, it's like when you go to a zoo. Them lines come right up to the edge of the daggone thing, and they see thousands of people every day, right up to the edge of the cage. But there was a video on there where one boy, a little boy, got too close to it, and that line reached right through that cage and grabbed a hold of him. They're still wild animals. They still have wild tendencies to them if they get the opportunity. But messing with a daggone bison, the only one I ever seen was up at a DC zoo one year. And that's a big son of a gun, Doc. I ain't lying to you. You got no concept of the size of that sucker till you see him in person. I mean, and if he's got his sights on him, and that's what they said that the reason he didn't kill that guy was he was just marking his territory and cleaning it out. He didn't have his sights on him to kill him. I mean, them suckers are huge, Doc. Going to do any Civil War area videos. Yeah, I am, Buzz, and I wanted to last week. I had a little situation come up, and I just ain't been able to get out this summer like This summer's turned out about like last summer, to be honest with you. Did last year I had that hurt that daggone back of mine. That took me down for a month or so. And something else went wrong. And this year I had something similar happen right after I got back from down yonder, Buzz, or up yonder. And it's kind of put me on my backside for well, since I've been from up yonder. So, and it'd probably be it'll be the middle of August or something before I'm able to do anything really. So it's really put a damper on every daggone thing as far as my activities. But it's on the mend now, so that's another reason I've probably taken some daggone naps this year. I just ain't been able to do like I normally do. But the problem I have, I want to go up to that daggone halfway house up yonder from the colonial days. They got a plaque out front there talks about that, and they what in 24 they put a plaque out there for that girl in Hopewell to run over there to save the revolution. Rode her horse over yonder. And then 24 they put a plaque up talking about her too. But see, that's right there on that main drag out there, 301, and it's busy. I'm thinking maybe I can get up early one weekend morning, like a Saturday or Sunday morning, about daybreak, and run up there and knock that out and add it in because I want to go down to Colonial Heights down yonder. That's where Robert E. Lee had his headquarters during the Battle of Petersburg. That's where he was at during the Battle of the Crater because he heard the explosion. He got on his horse and rode across the river to see what was going on. But and that's down there in Colonial Heights, Violet Bank, and so I want to go down there and do that. I figured there are only a few miles between them. I'll go ahead and knock them out in the same day because there ain't much up yonder. Just that old carriage house and the restaurants there, and them couple little plaques there. But it's a busy highway, 301. Have you gotten out fishing or has it been too hot? Now the heat don't bother me. Usually I'll get out in the morning time. I try to get a park down the road down here that I go to a lot. It opens the gates at 8 o'clock. So usually I'm down there about the time it opens, and then I'll fish till I get a hungry lunchtime or something like that, and then I'll come on home. But I don't really. Yeah. But no, I haven't been in probably 2 or 3 weeks. Normally I go at least once a week, usually twice a week at least is my goal. And usually I've been able to get that, but I hadn't been able to here past couple of weeks. Had other things kind of slowing me down. Pocono Mountains and bears in your trash all the time. That's where we went on our honeymoon at up yonder. I didn't see a bear when I was up there either. But there's a little lake down the road down here I can drive to. It's the one that because I can pull right up to the water there and just fish off the back of the truck. It's the one that supplies the water to the city of Colonial Heights. So that's where I usually catch a lot of turtles at, and carp. Gets a lot of carp out there. Had you run it 2 times for the last 10 minutes? It's always Cedar Creek for a CW video. This is in October and the weather will be nice. It's Middleton just down the road from Winchester. How are things at the corner? Carlos, my man, doing just lovely. Everything's hanging in there pretty good, boss. It's a little warm, a little smoky at times, but it's all in all, man, it's been a pretty good summer so far. I got a couple of things I'd like to do. And I got a couple of projects I started in the fall, but it got cold on me too quick, and I I put them up. Now it's too hot for me to fool with them, so I have to wait till it cools off again. So, but I want to I got some painting I want to do this fall when it cools off too. So it's you know, just kind of have to pick and choose when I do things. Well, I mean, I don't want to wear myself out. I'm just still a young guy, man. Retirement underrated. How you doing, man? But so I think that's about it. Ain't a whole lot been going on. Been trying to get situated, and I went over to see my little lady the other day across town here, or right across the way there, Fred. She bought a new car while I was out of town. She bought what was it new? It was 2020. A Hyundai Kona, little SUV. Nice little car. She totaled her other one. That's the only reason she got one. It's a little white car. It's a nice little buggy. Rides good. So I went over there. She's having trouble getting the tags for it. So I went over there to help her figure out how to get her tags for it. This because her 30-day notice is up to Saturday. Her tags are. So we had to go get get a dealership to send her another set of them. But other than that, should be good for another month. They ought to come. They screwed up the ball. They dropped the ball. They didn't put in a notice with a DMV or some bull. So she never got her permanent plates. Do you eat what you catch or both? Both. I generally don't keep them every time. Usually a couple times a month, maybe. Depends on what I feel like. Depends on whether I feel like cleaning them or not. It's what it boils down to. That's why I prefer to go fishing over hunting. Because you shoot something, you got to clean the daggone thing. But if you catch a fish, and you can always throw him back. So I don't. We don't eat as much now from the river as we did when the kids were little. Because I used to take my son, and sometimes my daughter would go, and so we tried to keep some that they caught. Kids get tickled, man, when they get a fish on the end of that line, Doc. They get really excited about it. So, kind of makes a big deal out of it when you fry it up for them. So, yeah. But so probably about half and half. Well, maybe not quite that much. You know, 75-25. Throwback versus keep. But and a lot of times though, if I go over here in Hopewell, there's a lot of people that fish over yonder, and a lot of times somebody there, if I don't want it, one of them guys will take it, so I'll give it to them. Oh yeah, I'm gonna call her queen. uh, what was her name? Debbie. Debbie's her name. I don't call her that. I always call her but Mrs. Just like I do Sharon usually. But yeah, she's always eager with that. You know what we can do, Steve? And be honest with you, man, both of them are healthier than I am, probably. There ain't nothing they can't do. It's just some things I would rather they not try to tackle. Getting on a ladder, you know, moving heavy stuff, whatever. I mean, it's not they couldn't do it. Getting up in the attic and, you bringing stuff down or getting out in this heat. I just would rather they didn't do it. And since I'm there every 4 or 5 days, they got no reason to tackle it. So, but she's a lot of fun. She's my original old lady. She's one that used to live right over here. Had that daggone flower garden. I did that little slideshow of last year, the year before, whenever it was. But yeah, I'm gonna get a video with her. Hopefully, when she comes back from her little trip, she ain't gonna be gone that long, couple days. Brought me a new outboard for the John boat. Having to rebuild the transom. Hey, you know what, Swamp Rat? I got a question for you, boss. You don't know anybody that collects antique boat motors, do you? I got a handful of them. I got about 12 of them I'd like to get rid of. Little, like 5, 10, 15 horsepower ones, Johnsons, Mercury, stuff like that. They're not mine. They belong to my Sharon's husband, and she was trying to get rid of them. That's a hard thing to get rid of, man. They all, as far as I know, all of them work. He used to restore them. He bought the motors he liked, and he tried to. He always, as a kid or whenever when he was growing up, as he got older and got a job, he'd buy what he liked and what he remembered as being good stuff. And he's painted them all, cleaned them up, got them all working and running. He even has one of them daggone testing tanks that you mount the daggone motor to, so you can test it out and see if it runs or not. But I wouldn't have no idea how to get rid of any of that stuff. There is a daggone club online, Outboard Motor Club or something. A lot of from up north, man. A lot of people up Massachusetts and Maine, Vermont, and places like that. So I've contacted that guy on there. He told me to take some pictures and send to him. He might could shop around up there. We got a local club according to the website, but there's no way to get a hold of that guy. So I contacted the head of the club up yonder somewhere. So I'm gonna see what he's got to say before I do anything. Doing fishing down out off Florida. Almost did this fall. I did some fishing down in Florida before. We got family down around Cocoa. Been out on the jetties before fishing. You know, that was years ago. You know, used to go at nighttime all the time down there. But I ain't done a whole lot down there. I really enjoy. I went out there deep sea fishing one time with a couple guys from work. There was 4 of us who went out there and chartered a boat. Now I enjoyed the snot out of that. Caught mostly dolphin, caught a tuna. But that was nice. That was nice. But most time I just lay up on the riverbank down there and catch a few catfish or brim or perch or whatever happens to pop up, and string them up and drag them to the house. Probably get me a little sea biscuit boat. Okay. Facebook Marketplace. Yeah. Yeah. It's probably my best option, I guess. I think there is where Sharon's got some family over on Dadgummit, I can't think of the name of that place. It's right there in North Carolina on the ocean. I can't think of the name of the place. But they had there's a yacht club down there, not a yacht club, but like a boat shop or something down there. They had said they might be interested in it. So I don't know what they're going to do with it, but you ain't gonna get much for them. A couple $100 a piece for them. But Sharon, she could use the money. Everybody could use the money. But at 10 or 12 of them, man. He's got a couple of old ones that don't have the cowling cover on it. They're just a little bitty motor about like that. And you have to wrap the daggone rope around it and yank on it. So it's pretty nice. I don't know if they run or not. I know the ones in the back there do. He's got them all mounted along the back wall of his garage. And he's got a couple little portable ones that he can roll out and work on if he needs to. It's a pretty neat setup he's got. It's a good looking shirt you have, Steve. What is the Father's Day gift? No, was it a Father's Day gift? No, I think it was a sale item my wife and my daughter found somewhere. I wanted a handful of Hawaiian shirts. I got a couple of them hanging out in the closet in yonder. Aloha Fridays. When I was over there, that's what they used to say. Everybody dressed casual on the Fridays. You go in shops and stuff, they'd all be having that was regular business wear, a Hawaiian shirt. And so I started doing that at work there before we went to uniforms. So now what on Father's Day I got a hat. I think I showed everybody. It was talking about the 250th birthday of America. Come from the kids. So late to the party, Steve. Retired and loving it. How you doing? Well, I hate to tell you, boss, but it's been about an hour now, so we're gonna be wrapping things up. Glad you showed up. Hey, man, you ain't got to show up at all if you don't want to, man. Catch the replay. Since you're time, those slowly dreaming. Yeah, we drink coffee. We usually have a couple pieces in the mornings. Um, I didn't drink much before I retired, but I always I made the pot in the morning before I left, so it'd be ready for Connie when she got up. Usually I only drink it in the wintertime, but now we always have a morning coffee meeting every morning to see what each of us is going to plan to tackle for the day. And so usually I don't know what I'm going to do every day until we get up in the mornings. Because sometimes I just throw everything I got out the window and go take a ride with her if she's going to go to the junk store. If she needs a hand with the grocery store. Maybe we want to run somewhere or something. So it really depends on what she wants to do. But yeah. So anything in the morning time that I do routine that brings me joy. No, not really, man. Yeah, I think it's just an overall joy I wake up with. You know, you know, when you're content with your life, man, there's not a whole lot that shakes you from it. You know, and thankfully, the last few years I was working, we had developed a life that we were happy with, man. And I didn't want to do anything but carry it over in the retirement. And so I think that you know, I think it has a lot to do with it. I really do. You know, but no, nothing special. I usually get my morning exercise routine in, take a little walk, and do my little push up or something, and sit there and have that morning meeting with her, which could take anywhere from 10 minutes to 2 hours. Just depends on what we get to talking about, and then start my day after that. Depends if I'm going fishing. Now, a lot of times stuff will get cut in half. I might not have no coffee, and I might only do my exercises in the morning, and not do my walk. Do that later in the day. So just to see them, the original Outboys and Everroot. Okay. Yeah, I took a bunch of pictures of them. I might send you a couple of them, show you what they look like. Because I needed to send them to that guy at that club, that Outboard Motor Club, I think is the name of it. Better late than never. Yeah, I guess. Wife got me a bunch of Charlie Sheen bowling. Oh yeah, okay. Okay. Yeah, those are nice too. Contentment is a learned skill that some never master. Yeah, I guess maybe it is. It's like finding enough. At some point, you know, everybody's got to decide what enough is for them. That's that thing about, comparing yourself to others or looking for if you can never find enough, it's always going to be a dollar more than you got. And if that's the case, you'll never get the nerve up to retire. you know. And for me, it's like that last video be about being a low effort retiree. I could do more. We could have done a little better, but at what point, is it enough? You know, my, my level, my bar for success is a lot lower than most people's, Doc. So you know, yeah, we're about as unambitious as a couple can get. To be honest with you. But hey, man, I've held you on here after an hour. I need to rest up a little bit before I can watch the president tonight. I want to see what kind of big announcement he's got to say. So I hope it's something about that daggone blockade down there. Hey, talking about that daggone blockade and that other strait down there, which won't be so bad. It'll set me up good for making a few dollars. If stuff drops. That's what I'm waiting on. Be honest with you. I don't want to wish no bad luck on anybody, but it's about time for it to drop a little bit. You ever hear that saying, sell in May and go away? So that's kind of what I did this year when I sold off a little bit of my gains. Then I'll wait for the fall to pick back up. I don't know what kind of be interesting to see what kind of Christmas season we have this year. I mean, I don't know. That usually makes or breaks a lot of companies. That's where they make their profit at. So it'd be interesting. Mhm. Just rambling off the top of my head. Ice, WI3RV. Ice, baby, ice. Contentment is something I have for sure. I'm never bored. If I think I might get bored, I just think of my place. I used to go to work every day. Yeah. And yeah. I, yeah, that first year, man, when I was retired, I did. Like when I did a video sitting down there in Hopewell there and watching that bridge, all them cars going into Hopewell. And yeah, that's something I thought about. Man, I'm glad I ain't one of them poor suckers. Still got to go across that bridge and go into work. But since then, and I ain't give work a second thought since after once I started getting comfortable. The people there, I ain't thought about it. I ain't thought about the job. It's really it seems like it was so long ago that it just is not even in my mind anymore. None of it. I still remember most of the people. Once in a while, I'll run into one of them. But as a general rule, I don't give it a second thought. That's the thing they tell you about when you go out. Try to keep in touch with your friends and stuff. But the thing is, they're in a totally different world than you are. They're still stuck in that work and hustle world, and you're not in that. Because I mean, it's understandable that your social group drops when you retire because of that. I mean, if you honestly think about it, how many people did you stay in touch to over the course of your 40 years of working that retired? Very few. So why would anybody else be any different? I mean, I tried. I had a couple of guys I would stop by and see once in a while, local. But it's just, it's not their fault and it's not yours. It's just you're living in two totally different worlds now. So it's something to expect when you go. And it's probably different if you're living in a small town somewhere. Everybody knows everybody. But you get in a place that's got a little bit of a population, it's understandable. That's me. What do I know, right? Not a darn thing. What did I do in my job? My last job, I worked in a lab. They made a chemical. It was a powder, sort of looked like flour. We had to see how well it dissolved and check the viscosity and the pH level and all that junk. Different characteristics about it. So when we sold it, the company would know what they could use it for. And it went in everything you can think of. I mean, everything from food, health and beauty aids, medicine, had industrial uses, went into paint. It's the stuff they pour down oil wells when they using that drill bit to drill with to keep the daggone pipe slick. You know, it's what makes your newspapers, your magazine papers glossy. It goes in toothpaste, and it works as time release on your pills, which is what makes them last one pill for 12 hours and stuff. It goes in everything. Just depends on how we made it over there. There was 3 or 4 different processes, and one of them was for this, and one of them was for that, and just depending on what kind of paper we used to make it with and stuff. But it was all the same raw materials, paper, cellulose. Actually, I call it paper because it looked like they on cardboard or poster board when you was a kid. A little bit thicker, a little bit more pliable, but it was the same stuff. But that's what I did. Before that, I worked at a string factory. I strung up carpet yarn, made carpet yarn. And in between that, I worked at a paper mill, run coal into the powerhouse, the boiler. That was a good job. That was a good job. I didn't want to have to move to the next job, which was the boiler operator. That's dangerous. So I left there and went over to the daggone chemical plant. I think the first job when I got laid off from the daggone string factory was daggone worked at the aluminum plant down the road here. We took metal aluminum bullets, probably about like that. I don't know how big around they were. I think it was 2 foot, but like I don't know, 8 inches maybe diameter, maybe 12-inch diameter. And they just pressed it on a big press into different shapes to sell. A lot of the ones we made were like for them power the things hang on your light pole there. All the time going out when the daggone lightning hit it and stuff. A lot of things we made at that place made those out of it. So, what month did I make that? How long did I work there? I was 15 at the string factory, and I think I was 18 at the daggone chemical plant. What meant that way I can go back and watch it. Kentucky Leisure, what do you mean about that? What year did I make that? You talking to me? Next year would be 40 years working at the same place. That's just amazing to me. See, now things would have been a lot different if I'd have been at one of those places for 40 years. As it is, I don't know because when they figure your pension, a lot of it goes into how many years you work. And since I only got 15 at that one, I didn't make near as much as I could if I'd have worked 40 years in. Same for the daggone chemical place. It worked the same way. A lot of it is based off how many years you work. That's why them guys that work there 40 years, man, they making bang up money, man. They probably don't need any money on the side. I'm just making a little piece of money because I didn't get but about 15 years at one and 18 at the other. I mean, don't get me wrong now, it's a big egg on help. But it ain't nothing compared to what some of them guys are bringing home. Yeah, I did, Swamp Rat, legally. We had some chemicals in there though that was it FDA, Federal Drug Administration, or what's that other thing? Alcohol, fire, tobacco, or whatever. They used to have to come in every couple of years and check, and we had to have a license to use it. And so they'd come in to make sure you had a certain amount. You had it locked up in a safe and all this other bull. So it was highly regulated. Used to have a rabbi come in there every year to make sure everything was kosher. Yeah. Since it went in everything, I mean, we had all kinds of regulations on everything. Sterilite. No. Well, I don't know what it was called. We call it heck, I forget now. CMC, carboxyl methyl cellulose. EC was ethyl cellulose. Klucel was just called Klucel. And they had one other area, I believe. Natrosol is what it was called. Now, what people turned it into, the names after we sent it to them was something else, but that's what we called it. Heading down from Iowa to stay on the Rappahannock River next week. Visit family in the area and do some fishing. Well, enjoy yourself. That'll be pretty nice. I've never been to the Rappahannock. I use I've caught fish in the Ohio River, but I've never been to Rappahannock. It's a nice place over yonder. They got a place up there, Smith Mountain Lake. I've never been there either. A buddy of mine used to go up there every year for rent one of them cabins and stuff up there and stay on the lake. Up there, he rented a house one time and he got used to the bass boat. So he was able to use that there. Had a little shelter for the boat to park on there at the dock on shore. So yeah, he got to use that. That video, maybe you sat outside and watched them all fall into the plant. Oh no, I didn't. No, I didn't see that. That was a fishing video. All I saw was daggone cars going across the bridge. I didn't sit there, over there and watch them all walk into the plant. Yeah, I don't know. I think that was probably 2 years ago. It wasn't last year, I don't believe. But I was sitting there down on the dock there and down over at Western Manor. And you can see the bridge right there. And then down the other way is daggone train trestle we used to play on as a kid. I don't know what the name of it would have been. I've done a couple of videos down there. One of them, that fish was on my line while I was telling you about Western Manor, and he about wanted to pull the pole in the water. So I'd reach back and grab it. Lots of croakers, yeah. Nice when it comes with a bow. Yeah, it was. That's okay. You hang in there, man. You keep talking all you want. I just don't like to keep people very long, about an hour. This is just something to shake things up with a little bit. And maybe if you have a question about a video I make or a question about where I work, what anything specific that I do in retirement, it gives you an opportunity to get a live reaction in that. And, I'm more than happy to talk to you about it. But I appreciate you showing up, boss. But y'all take care of yourselves, man. And I appreciate you deciding to hang out for a few minutes with me tonight. And I really appreciate the comments, man. They help me a lot. And they give me something to think about most of the time. And y'all take care of yourselves, man. Try to make it a good weekend if you can. And we'll see if we can't get back with you. It's probably on Monday. Y'all take care of yourselves, man. We'll talk to y'all later. In chat.